So the Commanders finally got themselves another win. I mean, I wound up being wrong about yesterday's pick, but the Commanders finally got themselves another win. Wow. I guess after what Coach Rob Rivera said about Carson Wentz, I think they finally put their act together. I mean, there's no way that the Commanders are winning the division. Not in the same division as my Cowboys, anyway. I mean, you want to see a real game, watch football Sunday night. But I'll be getting to that pick later. So let's get to my low, my high, my act of kindness. Okay, full disclosure. Last night I got in a fight with my mom. And yeah, that's my low. I mean, here's the thing. When my mom gets upset, she has a very bad habit of just not dropping it when she's already made her point. And if you know one thing about me at this point, I'm never going to be a guy that just sits there and takes it. You know, I mean, you can't. You know, let's be honest, I was raised to have some spine. So if anyone's, bath mouthing me, or back mouthing me or whatever, I'm going to stand up for myself, but then you got kind of ugly. So, and the sad part is, my time last night with my folks actually started off pretty solid. I had to get to my folks' place and we had to do a quick something, and that went fine. But then, I don't want to get into it. So, let's just say yesterday's episode of Hot Ones is actually something I really needed. Because it was a very good episode. And quite possibly seriously, don't go to acting school. Watch Viola Davis's episode of Hot Ones, okay? That's what you ought to do. And my act of kindness was I did a couple errands for my grandmother yesterday, including chauffeuring her to get her hair done. So that happened. So good morning, happy Friday, everyone. Oh, to add to my low too, I just found out when Rita's is closing. They're closing on the 30th. Yeah, they never close this early. Like, seriously, the latest they were open was like December 12th. I forget what year it was. And now they're closing like almost a month and a half earlier. And they keep closing earlier and earlier and earlier. And I get why, because some of the workers there are like students and they have school to go to and sports. And let's be honest, I live in upstate New York, and Rita's is more frozen confectionery delights, if you will. And so if it's going to be cold outside, getting Italian ice probably isn't the ideal thing you'd want to get, in, December, January, and February. But it's still so good, though. And now I have to prepare to get some quartz ready for when that time comes. So, guess I'm going to have to look forward to that. So again, happy Friday, and I have a Hot Ones episode to talk about now, don't I? And I have one more other thing to talk about as well. But, you're going to see what it is in the title. But anyway, so Viola Davis on Hot Ones. It was awesome. It was. It started off really funny too, because Viola Davis talked about how, she grew up eating spicy food, and obviously as she's gotten older, that tolerance kind of, waned a little bit. Of course, let's be honest, I don't think anything could have prepared her for the bomb. Nothing could ever prepare you for the bomb. So, she starts off with, some acting related stuff that, she talks about, like her time making fun of Juilliard, Like she said, I make fun of Juilliard a lot. I'm surprised I haven't gotten a call from him. She talked about how she did a one-woman show where she played like 17 different characters. I'm like, dang. Like, if you've ever seen a one-man or one-woman show, they are hard to put together. Like, I can only imagine how much thought, time, effort, blood, sweat, and tears were put into making such an endeavor. And again, to play 17 different characters. Like, I mean, don't get me wrong, I've seen the 39 Steps, where it's like 4 guys and 2 of them have like 20 roles each. So, something like this isn't exactly unheard of. But you just always hear about these amazing things that people can do. And you're like, that looks cool. I have to live with the fact I'm probably never going to be able to do that. So that was really cool. She talked about how, her husband would eat like a dozen eggs and like a pound of bacon because I think he was like an athlete or something. And she's like, honey, I can out-eat you. I'm like, okay. I mean, let's be honest, Viola Davis is one of those people where if she has something to say, I am going to believe her. I mean, the movies that she's been in, I mean, The Help, Fences, the Woman King, that's like out in theaters right now. Like, she's a phenomenal actress. You know, she's awesome. That's what she is. She's awesome. Although, I think for me, the best part of the episode came about, obviously actually, when she had the bomb, she's like, y'all mess with me. I mean, she's talking to Sean. I was like, Sean, I like you? I don't know anymore now. You know, that's exactly what most people would normally think when they had the bomb. So, don't worry, Sean. If I was ever on Hot Ones, I would never say that to you. Allegedly. But, yeah, it was great. But, yeah, I gotta talk about the ending because the final question regarding the last stab, Sean's question was, you were once seen quoting, I think the name was Malcolm Campbell, when he said, the privilege of life, or something akin to the privilege of life, is being true to yourself. And obviously, what does that mean to her, right? And she pretty much said that, you know, we spend our lives trying to find our ideal selves. Because, I mean, you grow up, I mean, it makes a lot of sense. Growing up, you know, you're instilled values from, say, your family, perhaps your religion, you know, stuff like that. But over time, as you go through seeing, you know, the world, you know, whether it's, you know, traveling, vacations, or even going to college, you know, it kind of, I mean, she described it as like stripping away your ideal self. Personally, I think of it as like trying to adapt to what's going on around you. Because that's ultimately what winds up happening. I mean, even something as a simple change in schedule, you know, allows you, could even set off a chain of events that, you know, you were thinking one way, but by the time you do the schedule change for however long it takes, then you think, okay, I'm thinking this way now. Stuff like that. At the end of the day, we're trying to find, like, who we are as individuals. And when you figure out who your ideal self is, that's when things get like most rewarding. I mean, me personally, and this is how I interpret that quote. I mean, I know I'm never going to be perfect. No way. You know, all I can really offer is just to try and be just a decent person. You know, don't do anything crazy, don't do anything stupid, don't do anything to, you know, utterly offend anyone or a group of people. You know, just stick with the things that you know in life. You know, I grew up in a household with, you know, loving parents and a brother. I was raised as a Catholic man who to this day still goes to church. You know, I went to school, got educated, and one day I just decided, hey, I'm gonna make videos, and that's what I do now. And at least that's a Cliff Note version of how I would probably put it, I guess. So, yeah. Oh, I also have to talk about how Viola Davis was like at acting school in Juilliard, and she's like, their instructor was like, okay, for now I want you to pretend to be a cloud. And she thought she had to pretend to be a cloud. She's like, that was funny. Actually, if I was a cloud, here's the thing, if I was a cloud, I'd just be like laying on the ground trying to pretend like Larry, like trying to get yourself an out-of-body experience when you can't really do that or whatever. But like seriously, if you really want like to learn from someone who is a legit decorated, there have been a lot of decorated actors on Hot Ones, but and here's the thing, like Viola Davis, I mean she reacted under the bomb, but like even she isn't perfect. I mean, she talked about how she had to go accept an award for Meryl Streep because she wouldn't be able to go and get it. And like that caused her to have a panic attack. And she had a panic attack in this episode of Hot Ones too because, well, that's how spicy the wings are. Which kind of gives me some perspective on how I'm probably going to react if I was ever on Hot Ones myself, but that's besides the point. So this is a very, very, I mean, I don't want to really call it educational because this is really more of, I guess acting is a form of education you get. So yeah, this was a very educational episode. It was very educational, and not to mention the ending of the episode is really profound. And it's just one of those things that give you some perspective on life in general. And at the end of the day, that's what makes life fun. I mean, yeah, we do try and look for our ideal selves. And listen, I'll be honest, I have no idea if this is my ideal self, but I do know I haven't gotten in trouble for being who I am, so right now I think I'm better off sticking with what I know. Hey, I just said I haven't gotten in trouble for this, so that's gotta be something, right? Okay, before I sign off, I gotta talk about coolest thing ever, okay? So, I've been watching Totally Not Mark for a long time. You guys know because he talked about One Piece all throughout 2020. And he did a blind review of a manga that actually released as an anime this year called Chainsaw Man. And I'm like, I must watch this. So yesterday, I finally saw Chainsaw Man, and I'm like, okay, I'm not gonna give it away, but yeah, Chainsaw Man's awesome. Holy cow, Chainsaw Man is totally awesome. Like, seriously, if you're like cons or conventions, Chainsaw Man is like one of the most cosplayed things right now. It's unbelievable. And it's easy to see why. Because it's violent, it's bloody, it's gory, It's deep. And it's got a cute little puppy dog with a chainsaw for a nose. It's so awesome. Oh, I'll put the trailer for Chainsaw Man in the description down below. So grab some hot ones. Check out Chainsaw Man. Again, these are just my initial thoughts on Chainsaw Man. I'll go for more in-depth detail when I think the first season of Chainsaw Man ends, which will probably be by the end of this year, maybe early next year, I guess. But so far from what I see, I'm really digging Chainsaw Man. Just like I hope you dug this video. And if you did, leave a like and subscribe to my YouTube channel. It would do my YouTube channel greatly. Follow me on social media. As always, I am very humble to make this video for all of you guys to watch and enjoy for today. I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful Friday. And I should probably go apologize to my mom. And remember, if you guys want to talk to channel, I'm always going to be here to lend an ear. And I will almost always have your back. Take care. Make good choices. Wow. Yeah. What else? Alright, I gotta talk about Chainsaw Man. Okay. So, man, Chainsaw Man was so good. Go watch Chainsaw Man. And go watch yesterday's episode of Hot Ones too. Okay, now I'm done. 607 all day, baby.